Europe has a center, a gravity well. For 2,000 years, whatever happened here decided the fate of the human race. If this center was weak, its neighbors tore it apart. If it was strong, it tore its neighbors apart. Today, we call it Germany. But for most of human history, Germany wasn't a country, it was an idea. The shifting, bleeding mosaic of hundreds of tiny kingdoms, dukedoms, bishoprics, and principalities. It was a battlefield where empires came to die, and where new worlds were violently born. How did a fragmented collection of tribes survive the Roman Empire, endure a millennium of holy wars, forge the world's most terrifying military machine, plunge the planet into two global catastrophes, and somehow rise from the ashes to become the economic engine of the modern world? This isn't just the history of a nation. This is the story of Europe's ultimate survivor. This is the history of Germany. Thousands of years ago, long before Germany existed as a nation, the land was covered in dense primeval forests, vast rivers, and scattered tribal settlements. Ancient Celtic tribes once dominated much of the southern and western regions, living in small agricultural communities, worshipping nature and developing sophisticated metallurgy. However, by the 1st century BC, aggressive Germanic tribes migrating from Scandinavia pushed southward, displacing the Celts and settling the vast territories between the Rhine and the Vistula rivers. Everything changed when the mighty Roman Empire began expanding northward. Julius Caesar established the Rhine as Rome's natural border, constructing massive fortresses to keep the tribes at bay. To the civilized world of Rome, the lands beyond the Rhine were a living nightmare, Magna Germania. A trackless wilderness of endless bog, impenetrable marsh, and suffocating forest. The Romans viewed the people who lived here not as men, but as beasts, wild, towering barbarians who felt no pain and knew no law. For decades, Rome pushed its borders forward, built fortresses, and attempted to tame the wild. By the year 9 AD, Rome believed the province was secure. 3 elite legions, the 17th, 18th, and 19th, marched deep into the heart of the Teutoburg forest. They were led by Publius Quinctilius Varus, a man who treated the Germanic tribes with arrogant contempt. He imposed heavy taxes and Roman legal codes on a proud people. But Varus did not understand the woods, and he did not understand the man marching beside him, Arminius, a prince of the Cherusci tribe, taken to Rome as a boy hostage and educated in Latin. He was granted Roman citizenship and trained as an elite Roman cavalry officer. To Varus, Arminius was a loyal servant. To the tribes, Arminius was a secret messiah. He had spent months secretly uniting clans that had hated each other for generations. He united the Bructeri, Marsi, and Chatti under one banner. He lured Varus and his 20,000 men deep into a narrow bottleneck of mud and trees. The trap was set near modern-day Calcries, where the empire would face its greatest shadow. Then the rain started. For 3 days, in a torrential downpour that turned the forest floor into a swamp, the Germanic tribes hunted the legions. The Roman armor rusted, their wooden shields grew waterlogged and heavy, their bows grew useless from moisture. Their long, orderly baggage trains sank into the mud. From the safety of the tree line, utilizing hidden earthen ramparts, the tribes struck with brutal, terrifying guerrilla tactics. 15,000 Roman soldiers were slaughtered. Varus, seeing total defeat, fell upon his own sword to avoid capture. The standard bearers were killed, and the sacred golden eagle standards of the legions were captured. When Emperor Augustus received the news in Rome, he tore his clothes, let his hair and beard grow long for months, and reportedly banged his head against the palace walls, crying out into the night, "Varus, give me back my legions." Rome never pushed past the Rhine again. The Teutoburg forest became a permanent psychological wall. On one side, Latin civilization. On the other, the Germanic spirit, unbroken, untamed, and waiting. For centuries afterward, Germanic tribes remained divided but powerful. As population pressures grew and the Roman Empire weakened, tribes such as the Franks, Saxons, Goths, Vandals, and Alemanni spread across Europe in a massive migration period known as the Völkerwanderung. They battered the crumbling defenses of Rome, crossing the frozen Rhine in 406 AD. In 476 AD, the Germanic chieftain Odoacer overthrew the last Western Roman emperor, Romulus Augustulus, plunging Europe into the chaotic, fragmented period of the early Middle Ages. Out of the chaos of the Dark Ages emerged one of the most influential rulers in European history, Charlemagne, or Charles the Great. Inheriting the Frankish kingdom, he launched decades of brutal military campaigns to expand his empire across much of Western and Central Europe. His most ferocious war was against the pagan Saxons of northern Germany. For over 30 years, Charlemagne fought to conquer them, enforcing mass baptisms at the point of the sword and executing 4,500 Saxon rebels in a single day at the massacre of Verdun. On Christmas Day, in the year 800 AD, in St. Peter's Basilica in Rome, Pope Leo III placed a crown on Charlemagne's head, declaring him Emperor of the Romans. It was a grand illusion, a political attempt to resurrect a dead empire using Germanic blood. When Charlemagne died, his empire proved too vast to hold together. In 843 AD, his three grandsons signed the Treaty of Verdun, dividing the realm into three parts. The western half would eventually become France. The eastern half, the Kingdom of the East Franks, would become the geographical and cultural core of Germany. By 962 AD, this eastern kingdom transformed into the Holy Roman Empire when the German king Otto the Great was crowned emperor, having defended Europe from Magyar invasions at the Battle of Lechfeld. But don't let the grand name fool you. As Voltaire would later note, it was neither holy nor Roman nor an empire. It was a strange, sprawling, decentralized confederation. While France and England built centralized monarchies, Germany did the exact opposite. The German emperor was not born into power. He had to be elected by a small, elite group of powerful German princes and archbishops known as electors. This system was later formalized by the Golden Bull of 1356. To win their votes, every emperor had to sign concessions called Wahlkapitulationen, giving away royal lands, judicial rights, and tax revenues. The result? The central imperial government remained weak. While local princes became absolute rulers of their own tiny domains, Germany became a chaotic patchwork quilt of hundreds of microstates, duchies, bishoprics, free imperial cities, and knightly estates. Despite this political instability, medieval German lands flourished economically and culturally. The northern coastline saw the rise of the Hanseatic League, a powerful confederation of merchant guilds and market towns like Lübeck. The Hansa dominated trade across the Baltic and North Seas, building massive wealth that rivaled kingdoms. In the south, cities like Nuremberg and Augsburg became centers of global banking, craftsmanship, and commerce. Grand Gothic cathedrals, such as the one in Cologne, and formidable stone castles rose across the landscape, symbolizing an era of deep faith and fragmented territorial pride. But this pride was anchored to a religious unity that was about to shake Europe to its core.